Make your point on the News Hour. Join Arnab every night on the News Hour with your question. Ask your question and join the debate.
On the Indian side tonight, we have C Singh, former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, RSN Singh, formerly of Raw Military Intelligence expert, Brigadier V Mahalingam, defense analyst, and of course Maroof Raza, consulting editor on strategic affairs. And on the Pakistani side, from Islamabad, is Major General Khalid Naeem. Thank you very much, General Naeem. Ambassador Ali Sarwar Naqvi, he's also joining us from Islamabad. And Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao. The debate is an open debate format, especially for General Naeem, who's coming on the News Hour for the first time tonight. I just like to say it's an open debate, so feel free to come in. Introductory comments from our first speaker, and then we'll throw it open. Gentlemen, feel free to come in the spirit of the debate. Now, I want Maroof Raza to start the debate because I don't understand, Maroof, for the life of me, what exactly is Pakistan's obsession with India? I mean, we are making our bid for NSG membership, and however pathetic theirs, they are making theirs. The only difference I find is that Pakistan is expending all its energies harping and ranting about India instead of making a case for themselves, however weak that is. They've been laboriously whining about India's shining chances in securing the NSG bid. It reveals some deep-seated complex, in my view. But what exactly is the basis of this obsession? Maroof will start the debate. Any of our Pakistani guests is free to respond. Let's begin. The hashtag is Mission NSG. Maroof, please.
Arnab, responding to your first point, I just want to briefly say that much of Pakistan, what it does, particularly in the diplomatic space and the military space, is focused on anti-Indianism. That is their best bonding adhesive. But having said that, as far as energy...
One sec. Ambassador Naqvi,
bias. Give it
sir, will
fair and objective...
Ambassador Saab, let me please make my points and you destroy them for what they are worth. The point I'm cleaning to make, and you cannot deny, and neither can anybody deny, the strong, deep-rooted anti-Indian sentiment in Pakistan. But I'm putting that aside for the moment. What I'm saying is the following. India doesn't see it as India. Sir, will you let me speak? Please give me the courtesy. I thought you were a diplomat. You would know diplomatic courtesy.
Ambassador, let him complete his opening remarks. I'll come to you. I'll come to you after that is done.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Continue,
Arnab, India does not see its bid in NSG as an exercise to curtail Pakistan. India has made its entire nuclear case on the need for being able to trade more in the nuclear zone so that it can enhance its energy requirements, so that it can become a more developed country. Should Pakistan also make that bid? We have said it to the Chinese and others. We have no objection if China and others also get Pakistan in. That's the first point. The second point is that the energy is an agreement. It is not a treaty. So therefore, the rules of a treaty like the NPT does not necessarily apply to energy, which was a group that was formed in the Cold War years in the aftermath of India's nuclear explosion of '74. But that group is willing to move on. Now, if the group also is willing to accept Pakistan, good for them and good for everybody else. The point we need to understand that India had already sought and got a waiver in 2008 by the same group, including China, which did not present any objections. So if China has objections now and it is insisting that India must sign the NPT, China must be reminded that France entered the NSG without signing the NPT.
My question
One.
This stage.
Second point is Pakistan. If Pakistan is so desperate to get into the NSG, let it sign the NPT. We have a principled stand against the NPT. If Pakistan feels the NSG is more important for them, they should sign the NPT. We don't want to sign it. And the world wants us in.
So,
No, one second, Maroof. Just hold your breath for a minute. No, hold your breath for a minute. And I want to tell you, Ambassador, however much you can try, there is no way in which you can compare India and Pakistan as far as the NPT issue is concerned. We have a fantastic record of non-proliferation. We are not a nuclear smuggler country. You are a nuclear smuggler country, and hence the rules that apply to you are different. But my question to you is, and Secy Singh will respond.
Under sanctions.
Sir, my question to you, as Secy can respond after you finish, is why are you obsessed with India? Yesterday, your national security advisor, in an almost complaint against India, securing American support for the NSG, started claiming that there is some grand, greater design at play. One day, you are so obsessed with India that one day before the meeting in Seoul, your former permanent representative at the United Nations, Zamir Akram, went on about how Pakistan was opposed to the exclusive membership of India. I mean, why are you obsessed with India? It's almost embarrassing, Ambassador, to see Pakistan's India obsession anymore. Please speak and Secy will respond. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Because it will be unfair. Just giving India waiver is country-specific waiver, which is without any criteria, is unfair.
Ambassador,
No.
Ambassador, improve your track record. Improve your track record. You will also get a waiver.
Okay, Secy Singh, please.
We don't have a bad track record. We have a very good record.
Ambassador, will you give me a time?
Oh, you have.
Okay, let me explain to you your record. Your record is scientist A.Q. Khan. Now China turns around and says A.Q. Khan was a rogue scientist.
It's an old
who was functioning on his own.
It's an old
so you need
story.
China. Will you just listen
Forget
to now?
it.
Truth just rankles. Chinese who are complicit with you in your program, who lied in 2004 when they joined the NSG, they said they had only promised you 2 reactors. In 2010, they remember that they had promised 2 more. A country that lies and connives with you dares to have a vote at the NSG. In fact, the Chinese vote should be suspended. They should have no vote at all.
Anybody that doesn't support India
how can they remember?
Is supposed to be lying.
How can they remember?
I mean, what are you talking about?
Why didn't they say in 2004 the 2 reactors at Khushab reactors, then suddenly they remember 6 years later that they had promised you 2 more. They are giving you 4 reactors to be producing plutonium.
They said all that. I was ambassador in Vienna, and they said all that. You were not there.
You are complicit. Therefore, what NSG are we talking about? We have a rogue nation within NSG.
Well said.
Which has been breaching the very rules of NSG by dealing with you. So what rules are they quoting to us? We've gone up a ladder from 2003 to 2008. We convinced, why don't you apply for a waiver first? How can you go suddenly to joining NSG when you don't even have a waiver? You don't have a separated civil and defense program.
Need a waiver.
Your defense program is under your general.
Well,
under your military general.
I mean,
Who
Ambassador.
is going to give you a waiver?
Ambassador,
come on, separate.
Ambassador, 1 minute. No, 1 second. Ambassador, listen.
3 measly civilian reactors.
Yeah.
Separate them first.
Yeah. See, Ambassador.
First separate your program, civil from military.
No, you see.
Then seek a waiver.
Yeah.
Then come and stand at NSG's door.
Yeah. Yeah, you see.
How are you coming there?
You see,
our program is separate.
And you like a beggar
as much as yours is.
Ambassador.
As much as yours is.
Go and convince NSG. Don't tell us. Go and convince NSG. You haven't got the safeguard agreement.
That's what we are doing.
For your reactors.
The two words which come to mind.
Then do that and then apply.
The 2 words that come
apply and then you will do it. You have to do it and apply.
One second. Ambassador, let's get others in. Let's get Mahalingam in. Let's get Major General Khalid Naeem in, Abid Rao in. But realize here that C Singh is speaking undiluted, unadulterated facts and sense. The 2 words which come to my mind, Secy, when I think of Pakistan and its nuclear track record is illicit and theft. They believe in the illicit transfer of nuclear technology.
And with Chinese connivance.
And they indulge in nuclear theft.
And the Chinese.
Yeah. You see, no, watch it.
And the Chinese connivance.
No, watch it. Can I ask you, yeah, General Khalid Naeem, if I can draw you in, my question to General Khalid Naeem is this: as per recent reports by global spy agencies and Indian intelligence agencies, you are even now involved in the illegal transfer of nuclear trade with North Korea. As per information received, you have been illegally transporting nuclear missile materials to North Korea via the sea route through cargo ships. Even the CIA has caught you off guard of secretly selling nuclear material to North Korea.
Al Jazeera report that India is involved with North Korea.
It is, please listen to me, sir, however embarrassing it is.
Sir, let's not have jokes.
Let General Naeem or Abid Rao respond. Your NSG membership, General Naeem, has reached a dead end, because the nuclear material supplied to the Pakistan Atomic Energy Commission has been illegally diverted to North Korea, as per a complaint received by the China Atomic Energy Commission. You are global nuclear thieves, with the greatest of respect, General Naeem. Yes, please. Yes, please.
I think you don't have any proof of that. Allegations can be levied against any country,
we have absolutely a lot of proof of that. I'm willing to challenge you on a debate on it.
I can have solid proof.
So I'll tell you the proof.
Number two, the whole issue is very simple for me. It is that what is good for the goose is also good for the gander.
No, you should stop equating yourself with India. You can't, you see.
If Pakistan
General Naeem, you can't compare yourself with India. First of all, you must get over this problem. Your obsession with India, I can completely understand. I sympathize with you. You cannot compare yourself with India.
No,
India
it's the other way around.
No,
it's
India
the other way around.
General Naeem,
you are being paranoid.
General Naeem, I'll tell you.
You are the one isolating Pakistan.
General Naeem, listen to me.
You are the one who is building Chabahar, who is taking that route direct to Afghanistan.
General Naeem,
via Iran.
General
who
Naeem,
has $50 million
क्या मैं आपसे कुछ कह सकता हूँ जनरल नाइम क्या मैं आपसे कुछ कह सकता हूँ See, I'll tell you, India is India.
We would not have built Chabahar if you had guaranteed us access to Afghanistan. You don't want us in Afghanistan. You don't want us anywhere. So we have to find alternate routes. We are the largest investors in Afghanistan. We made their parliament. We made dams. We made roads. We made schools. We've given them a life. What have you given them except misery? And you don't want us there.
No, Maroof,
so we have to find an alternate route.
No. Even on the nuclear issue. No.
Giving them little and you giving them a lot. What are your grand designs?
General Naeem, I want to tell.
Listen,
General Naeem.
Let's
you ask the Afghans.
Just let me.
You ask the Afghans why they can't trust you. You can't. You ask the Afghans. Ashraf Ghani wanted to be friends with you and gave up.
And there was a clause that Americans introduced that any country that has not signed the NPT cannot become a member of the nuclear supplier group.
No.
Now, if India is making its case, then so should Pakistan.
Okay.
Either this clause be removed and both India and Pakistan be allowed to become members of the NSG.
I just want to ask you. I want to ask you, General Naeem, a follow up to that. General Naeem,
once and if India becomes a member of the NSG, it can veto anytime Pakistan's entry into
absolutely
the nuclear suppliers group.
India has given a commitment.
Now, China
India is willing to give a commitment. We are willing to give a commitment that we will not block you if you otherwise meet the criteria.
And why should we? I mean,
but
the fact
Americans,
is, but the fact
absolutely.
is, General Naeem, listen to me 1 second, please. General Naeem, please listen to me. Listen to me, General Naeem. Listen to me, General Naeem. A few facts which you will find very interesting in this case out here. Maroof, a minute. You see, let Abid Rao also come in, let RSN come in, and let's open up the debate. First of all, with respect to you, India is India. Pakistan, unfortunately, is Pakistan. We are a stable democracy, and your civilian leadership is a puppet in the hands of the military. One, you have a history of military coups. You're an unstable country. The Indian Army functions under the command of a civilian leadership.
Does that make you the policeman of this region?
No.
Allow you to exercise exercise hegemony
no,
over smaller countries?
There's no hegemony here. Please understand. Be rational.
No.
Think about it. India has ratified, once again, KC, before you come in, India has ratified an additional protocol with the International Atomic Energy Agency, which means that its civilian reactors are under the IAEA safeguards and open for inspections. We have increased transparency. That's the kind of country we are. I can be corrected if I'm wrong.
So has Pakistan.
No, I'm sorry.
And
We have
by
signed
the way, we claim.
No.
We claim that our nuclear installations are
General Naeem, stop comparing yourself with India. You're going to go crazy if you keep comparing yourself with India. We have signed a moratorium on the underground nuclear weapons test in accordance with the spirit of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. We have voluntarily declared to secede all underground nuclear test explosions. Does it not indicate that India's nuclear ambitions is only for the development purpose? Right? And therefore we deserve to be on the NSG. And how are you comparing yourself with India? You are a country. You're a bankrupt country.
Why
no, you are a bankrupt, unstable military dictatorship.
This
okay, 1 second.
Of grandeur.
RSN and Abid Rao, please. RSN and Abid Rao, please.
You can't exercise hegemony. Definitely not.
RSN and Abid Rao, please. I think Pakistanis have become paranoid about India's access to the NSG. Yes, Abid Rao. RSN and Abid Rao.
Arnab, it is not a question about access or acquisition of nuclear material. Since the 2008 waiver, we enjoy the access and the acquisition. As far as acquisition is concerned, the larger question is that is the proliferator, the chief proliferator and the chief patron proliferator, are they going to be rewarded for their delinquent behavior in the nuclear arena? If that be the case, then the very credibility of the institution of NSG comes under doubt. So therefore, nobody is sweating here. I treat the whole issue with equanimity. Now the other problem is the whole world knows how you have conflated your nuclear weapon status with jihad. How have you been, carrying out proxy war under the shadow of the nuclear weapons? So if the world feels comfortable with dealing with a state or even mention of it by another power which itself, inveigled its way into the nuclear suppliers group, as Ambassador C Singh brought out, then good luck to them. Then let's not talk about terrorism.
RSN, the fact is, therefore, you raise a very important point. And you see, it's like 1971. 1 second. Air Marshal Abid Rao, there are certain realities at certain points of time in your existence as a nation, however flawed. And you are an incredibly flawed nation. I'm not blaming you for it. You are a flawed nation. But that's the reality. You must come to terms with facts of life, like 1971 is a fact. And what A.Q. Khan did is a fact. I mean, let's debate that. You can debate C Singh on facts if you want. But the fact is, can you please tell all the viewers of this Newshour program across the country tonight and across the world, including in Pakistan, who are watching, is it true or not?
India also come to terms with
I'm asking Abid. Can I ask Abid Rao?
And let me speak for 2 minutes.
Again, you're being touchy.
Okay. No. Forget the history of Indo-Pak relations. Since 50s, you have been riding somebody's shoulder. You took Russia's shoulder to get the Kashmir thing vetoed in UN Assembly. And till today, your Prime Minister is going to so many countries crying about Pakistan. Your government has a history, a record of not talking to Pakistan. If you don't talk to Pakistan, you can go and complain to anybody. We have been unlucky that these two countries... Please listen to me. Listen to me.
Tell me.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
From where did you get the fissile material for those 100 and 120 nuclear weapons?
We have the right to take it from any place in the world.
We all know, the world knows.
We don't have to take your permission.
Nuclear program,
Since 3 years,
China's
your
nuclear
government
program.
has put up.
So that is why I said we are not over-optimistic. At least I am treating the whole issue with equanimity. And we are not concerned.
We will talk later on. When you go and talk to America about stopping the F-16 deal, you should be ashamed of that. that 8 aircraft create so much of disturbance that you go and complain to other countries. You have a habit of complaining about Pakistan to America, to Saudi Arabia, to UAE in the recent past. We have the right to defend our rights, our interests.
The Americans are ruining your people.
Okay, I'd like C Singh to come in, please. I'd like C to come in, please. RSN, 1 second. RSN, let's remain completely focused on the issue. I would like to have C, Maroof and Abid on the debate, please, if possible. I am debating the history of nuclear proliferation. Let us say this today. Abid Rao.
Decency.
Abid.
Instability in this region is only because of you.
Abid Rao.
Now you have come to Afghanistan.
Abid Rao, please understand. We have nothing against you. Yes, we do feel sorry for you. Sometimes we sympathize with the situation that you are in. And we are not happy at your economically bankrupt status. It gives us no happiness.
You to stay away from our affairs.
That's all right. That's all. But can I have a civilized debate with you, sir? Can I have a very, very civilized debate with you on the history of nuclear proliferation? I'm inviting you into one.
Spreading things.
I'm inviting you into one. 1 second. Abid Rao, listen. Abid Rao, either you can shout at me or you can debate the fact. Now there's Casey who knows his facts on this issue. There is Brigadier Mahalingam who's not spoken.
India is in habit of crying, not Pakistan.
Mr. Rao.
Sir, remember. We have reacted
remember. It was, and Casey will respond. It was your so-called hero of nuclear technology, AQ Khan, who sold designs of uranium enrichment centrifuges to North Korea.
Your stance in the UN Assembly. You took Russia's help to veto Kashmir resolution. It would have been solved. It would have lived peacefully.
Sir, listen.
You are discussing the program.
We are discussing.
Don't talk about a bankruptcy.
Okay. Let Casey come back. No, Casey, why are the Pakistani guests, in your view, not willing to discuss?
70 years have passed.
Now listen, Abid Rao, don't get emotional Don't get emotional. Once, Casey, I just want to briefly intervene and then hand over to you. Casey, just want to briefly. Casey, I just want to briefly intervene and hand over to you. I just want to say this one thing to Abid Rao, that Abid Rao, listen, every time you see India go up, the global stature, don't get emotional about it. Okay? I know you must be hurting about it.
You have a problem with all neighboring countries.
But understand, you had an opportunity, and Casey will remember this, you could have acted against AQ Khan. Instead of that, your military dictator, Parvez Musharraf, pardoned him, and he allowed him a televised confession. You let him off the hook.
It is our internal matter. Nothing to do with India.
It's not an internal matter, Baba. Why don't you understand?
Rest of the world.
It's not going to be an internal matter. Casey Singh, please. Casey.
Arnab, they refused to give access to AQ Khan to anybody from abroad, even the Americans, because they didn't want him to spill any beans. But anyway, let that be. I think Pakistan's main 2 or 3 problems are there. One is they are blocking the fissile material cutoff treaty in Geneva. Before NSG will even consider their application, they will ask them to first go to Geneva and agree to the fissile material cutoff duty.
Yeah.
Which means they'll have to stop producing those bombs. So in a sense, they want this whole controversy to start because they want to buy time. Let India not join in. Let time be bought so they can keep multiplying their arsenal. It's a game, simple game as that. Secondly, the other day, Mr. Rasgotra, the senior most living diplomat India has, 49 batch, he was confirming when his book was being released. He says John F. Kennedy in 1963, in a handwritten note, offered to Prime Minister Nehru that we will give you a device, explode it. We would have been a nuclear weapon state because any explosion before 1967, we wouldn't be arguing with NSG and NPT. Nehru said no, we don't want to do it. Pakistan had nothing to do with it. We were a peace-loving country which had a colonial history. It was a Gandhian principle. We said we don't want these weapons. We tested in 1974 and did not weaponize till 1998, 24 years later, long after Pakistan had developed their program. Because India never wanted to weaponize. Where is Pakistan figuring in this?
No,
Pakistan-centric.
No.
So please remember,
and that's why
I said
nothing
to do with
it is the other way around. You are obsessed with Pakistan.
No, you must understand, General Naeem. General Naeem, we have different. General Naeem, we have different histories.
We had to react to that.
No, you see,
we have the right to defend our honor.
General Naeem, please understand this.
But we never weaponized.
And Ambassador Naqvi, as you listen to C Singh tonight, consider the civility with which A, he is responding, B, the civility with which a great nation called India has conducted itself in the world of international affairs. We are not some clandestine, illicit nuclear smuggler like Pakistan. AQ Khan, under the patronage of the Pakistani government, built the illegal nuclear network, expanded to Libya between 2000 and 2003, where he was allowed to supply nuclear material. Your nuclear technology is unsafe. Your nuclear technology is a global threat. Ambassador Sarwar, you will be treated differently, Ambassador. Yes, Ambassador. Calm down. Yes, reply. Calm down. Please reply, but please calm down in the process. Yeah, thank you.
The AQ Khan story is an old story, and the world
want a new story now?
Has got tired of it.
You want a new story now?
We have a very important, very good command and control structure. We have the Nuclear Export Control Act of 2004. We have the Pakistan Nuclear Regulatory.
Then why did?
We have.
Then why did? Let Brigadier Mahalingam come in.
So we have a full.
If that is the case. If that is the case,
monitoring and surveillance structure in place.
I know that you've been going around the whole world with a file.
Ambassador, you are not. Ambassador, I have served as ambassador to the IAEA.
I'm not raising my voice with you, so you please don't get angry with me. I am presenting some cold, hard truths before you tonight. And
because
as I said,
you don't let us speak.
I'm saying I have one question to you, sir. You can speak. You've spoken more than me, but I'm asking you, if you are such a civilized nation, why was Prime Minister Gilani insulted by the Americans when he begged for a nuclear deal similar to India and went to the US asking for it in 2012? You know what America told him? Get out. Don't even think of a nuclear deal. In 2015, shamelessly.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like that.
It happens exactly like that, sir.
Incorrect.
So in 2015,
that it should happen to Pakistan like that.
It's not like this, that you get out or you go down or you don't talk like that.
Sir, I request you to understand the reality. Sir, Ambassador Rao.
Since 1947, they've been dreaming on that.
Ambassador Rao, remember, even Australia, threw you out. You went there, you said to the Australians in 2011, I think, right? Please lift the ban on uranium supply to Pakistan. The Australians told you that you are a country of nuclear smugglers. How do you expect us to lift the ban on uranium supply to you? Then again in 2015, not giving up your efforts, just sacrificing whatever was left of your self-respect. You went once again to America with your bag. This time America told you, listen, we categorically are telling you, you are an unstable, untrustworthy nation. There is no possibility of a civilian nuclear deal with you, nor an exception within the NSG to facilitate civilian nuclear exports, and KC will bear me out on this one. How dare you compare yourself with India? This is your global standing, unfortunately. It gives us no pleasure to remind you of your global standing, but that's a fact. Even you can't deny any of the facts I presented before you tonight. And now let Brigadier Mahalingam come into the debate. Brigadier, please. Brigadier Mahalingam.
By Pakistan.
Arnab, I just want to add up to what Mr. C Singh earlier said.
Yes, please.
This is pertaining to China.
Yes, please.
Now, as far as I can see, the Chinese stand that we should have a common policy with regard to entry of non-NPT countries is totally sort of flawed. Now, how can you have a policy which would say that tomorrow the India, Pakistan, North Korea can all get into the NPT as a member? Because you cannot compare India with Pakistan or North Korea or Israel for that matter any other country.
Abid Rao.
The point is, in case if you sort of make Pakistan enter the NPT, can somebody promise that the Pakistan will stop proliferating? Can somebody say that all the tactical nuclear weapons that it has will be thrown out? Can
India
somebody
makes a
say
case
that it will
to be a
separate
member
the
of the
authority
NSG,
and the holding
so does
of nuclear
Pakistan.
weapons?
And do
I'm
you also
afraid
agree
the
that
policy
India and
of
Pakistan
China is totally
should be
flawed. You
inducted
cannot
together
have that. It is
so
a
that tomorrow you
theoretical
may not
answer to
veto
a practical
Pakistan's
problem.
entry
What
into
you need
NSG.
is you need to examine
You can keep
each country
talking
on their
and it
merits.
probably wouldn't
This
make
question
sense
of
to
having
anyone.
a common policy is totally flawed, and this is an issue which India needs to take up
Abid Rao.
in the world body. That you have to consider every country on its own merit.
Yeah. You see, Abid Rao, hallucinating can be voluntary or involuntary. Some countries hallucinate voluntarily. You have started hallucinating involuntarily by comparing yourself to India vis-a-vis the NSG. I'm surprised that experienced analyst like you, Abid Rao, does not remember that 2 months before you unleashed the Lashkar-e-Toiba in the Mumbai 26/11 attacks, 2 months before that, you see, you were burning with jealousy for India at that time. And you know why you were jealous? Because 2 months before the Mumbai 26/11 attacks, the NSG, and Maroof, you can bear me out on this, had granted a waiver to India in September 2008, allowing its members to carry out nuclear trade with India, recognizing that India is a great, responsible nuclear power. This is the truth of 2008. Denied. Maroof,
Pakistan did that to stop India from joining NSG.
Sir, you have to understand we were given a waiver in 2008.
Your things are not connected, Arnab. Please connect
Sir,
your argument.
I don't understand what you're... Sir,
You talk to everybody else.
Abid Rao,
This last 60 years,
Abid Rao,
you don't talk to Pakistan on
Abid
these
Rao,
matters.
tell me, Abid Rao, was India given a waiver in 2008 by the NSG, allowing all nuclear countries to have nuclear trade with India, which is a recognition of India's responsible nuclear power? Yes or no? All members were given the opportunity to break whatever rules are there of the export control regime to conduct nuclear trade with India. This is 2008. I'm reminding you of history. In your paranoia, you have forgotten everything from history.
Let's go back to 50s.
No, I'm talking about 2008 and NSG. Maroof, what's going on
your
here?
weak stance on so many issues.
Maroof, I mean, you can't conduct...
May I now remind
as recent as last month.
I mean, you can't behave like a petulant, jealous child.
Marshal
You
Saab.
succeeded earlier, you hadn't.
You're behaving in a
It's okay.
petulant and jealous manner. So it
Marshal
won't
Saab.
work like that. Maroof.
You are going
Marshal
to
Saab,
Afghanistan,
Arnab.
not to help the Afghans.
Maroof, please.
You are going there with other ulterior
Arnab,
motives.
Yeah,
You
Maroof,
know it very well.
we are digressing.
Raw agents are being apprehended in Balochistan.
Marshal.
And
Marshal
that is the
Saab,
first stage.
why are we getting messed up between Afghanistan, Balochistan, Kashmir, Gwadar, whatever else? Let's stick to the subject.
You have a history
The subject is
of
about
not talking to
NSG
Pakistan,
entry.
going to other
NSG.
countries and
Sir, मेरी बात सुन
complaining.
लीजिए. Marshal, with respect, sir, I have great regard for you.
And he had a
Please hear
bad
me
throat.
out.
Let him speak, please.
All I'm saying, that from the very inception, India's desire for nuclear expertise has been based on its desire for more energy. The military aspect has come into play much later. On Pakistan, the desire for nuclear technology, ever since we exploded the bomb in 1974, and Bhutto was on record to say, we will eat grass but we'll have a bomb. So the desire was to contest us militarily. The energy dimension was thrown in as an afterthought. The second point, which is equally important, we have been generous enough with Pakistan, sometimes even supporting your candidates for rotational posts at the UN and voted for Pakistani candidates. We are not always in the business of running you down. And the third fact, which the ambassador brought out, that Pakistan has control systems in place. So does North Korea. So just because you have nuclear weapon control systems in place,
You talk of India,
doesn't
I will talk
guarantee
of
you
Pakistan.
the right to enter the NSG and give you a spotless, clean shit for all your
We are not
proliferation
comparing ourselves with
activities,
India.
which you have done for decades and
We
decades.
want our own
How
right.
do you clear
We are
that record?
I mean,
how do you clear that
You tell me,
record?
why did you lobby against our 8 F-16s in last 6 months? I mean, how does that hurt you?
Where did we?
You have been doing it
we
since
lobbied against,
1950.
We lobbied.
You have done that. You did not succeed then. This time you have.
Marshal,
So
hear me out. Hear me out.
have never asked
we
you
lobbied
why
against
Russian
the
weapons.
F-16. Air Marshal, hear me out. We lobbied against the F-16 by telling the Americans, let Pakistan pay for it. We said to the Americans, don't give it to them as a loan.
I mean, how does it bother you?
Yes,
Did you pay for your aircraft to Russia?
You
didn't.
want it. You buy it.
Since 1963,
We are
Mr.
not.
Subramaniam had been getting these Russian aircraft.
The point being
For
made
God's
here.
sake.
No, the point
You
being
are
made here,
obsessed
and
with
you're
Pakistan.
particularly
You want to prove superior without being superior.
You see, it is a choice of every country to decide how it wants to conduct its global affairs. You want to conduct
Absolutely.
one by begging
So why
for
are
arms.
you bothered whether we pay
no,
for
sir.
F-16
Let me
or we
tell you,
don't pay?
sir. Let me tell you, begging for arms is a unique approach to diplomacy that you're representing. And Maroof says you don't have the money for the F-16. Forget having it. You're a bankrupt country. You can't afford it.
We'll go for a choice.
You can't afford it.
You spoiled a deal. We were paying some money.
Anyway, I want to go back to the issue of the NSG.
Maybe you succeeded.
Sir,
Next time you will not.
Sir, listen to me. I want to explain to you the issue of the NSG, and I want Casey to come back to the debate. Maybe Ambassador Sarwar would like to come in.
That is between India and Pakistan.
I just
you
want to say
go to third countries and cry.
Sir, Ambassador Sarwar, see, Pakistan is now jittery because China has said your only hope right now is China. And China has said that the door is open for discussions concerning India's inclusion. We are not against any country, including India. This is said by China, Ambassador Sarwar.
Why are you against Pakistan's entry?
We are your only hope. Your only hope in the world, China, has said that we are not against India. This embarrasses you because only 2 days ago, Sartaj Aziz was praising China for
Your only hope.
Ambassador Sarwar and KC, please.
I shout.
Ambassador, yeah.
I shout because you don't let me speak.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because you don't let me speak.
Not at all.
Now, there are the other states. There is Turkey. There is New Zealand.
They'll all fall in line, don't worry.
Ireland. There is Austria.
They'll all fall in line.
These countries are opposed to allowing NSG membership to non-signatory of the NPT.
One handshake from Narendra Modi and they'll all fall in line. You are aware of that. We have economic clout. We do trade with these nations.
Yeah, listen,
you must understand,
India is a non-signatory
diplomacy is a little more complex than what you think.
I am telling you that India does not have a chance in hell to become a member alone.
Right. Since you're banking, and I would like to tell you, sir, without raising my voice, that since you are banking so much on Chinese opposition to India, please just jog your memory. It will be worthwhile for you to remember. Casey will bear me out on this. Casey will bear me out on this, that in 2008, right, China abstained when the NSG gave India a waiver to trade for civilian nuclear technology and fuel. Am I right, Casey? In 2008, China had abstained from that.
That was a
Let
waiver.
Casey come in.
That was a waiver. It was not a membership.
It's a step
forward.
forward.
It was not membership.
You haven't even done that. Casey, am I correct on that?
That's
well, so
correct,
that doesn't matter.
What the
There's
Chinese
no
did was they went
of a waiver.
They went 2 years later.
Yeah.
2 years later, they went and compensated Pakistan with 2 more plutonium reactors. But I think what Pakistan must realize is,
so what?
They should have actually waited. They should be happy.
That is none of your
business.
Happy
if we get. Will you please let me finish? You should be happy if we become the members. That opens the path for you. No, you haven't got a waiver, you haven't done your separation, you haven't done your negotiation with IAEA, you haven't done 10th class, and you want to go and do a PhD.
Well said, well said.
Please go through the steps.
Well said.
Please go through the steps.
Now
why are you going to the last step when we are at the PhD level? Where is your matriculation degree?
I used to
Where is your bachelor's degree?
Of the NSG.
Please use the steps.
Your ambassador did not.
Use the steps.
No, good advice, good comparison.
Have you got a separation? Have you got an IAEA agreement? Have you got any country signing a bilateral agreement with you other than China?
Yes. That is not.
Go and sign them.
That is not for you to check.
Go and sign them first.
That is not for you to check.
No, it is not
separation.
No, I'm simply holding up a lantern to you so that you can see in the darkness.
You are just making
so that you can see your path in the darkness. Because you obviously can't see your path.
No, it's wrong.
No, India, let me tell you, don't count on China. China is a major power, and major powers will look for whatever they can negotiate. There are things, they look for things from India, they look for things from America, and ultimately they'll sell you down the drain.
Let me tell you,
you are a
that
negotiating
the
chip for
NSG
them.
is now working
They will use you as a negotiating chip.
The NSG
and
is
the
now,
Chinese,
all the
what
members
criteria?
are for criteria approach.
Your criteria will be, will you go and sign the FMCT? Will you sign the Fissile Material Cutoff Treaty?
Have you signed?
You go running,
you signed the
heels
FMCT?
hitting your butt.
Have you?
We have said we are willing to sign. You are the one blocking it in Geneva. You are the one blocking it. You sign it when it is agreed on.
Look, we are not blocking. We are not blocking.
Announce it.
We are not blocking.
Announce it. No. So announce. Of course, you are blocking it. You should know the facts.
You
and the Chinese are blocking it.
Stocks must be taken into account.
So nobody is going to give you an agreement till you stop that.
Sir, you see, understand, Ambassador Sarwar, please understand the reality being presented to you tonight by
allegations for nothing.
One sec. You see, India is a great power today. India is one of the great powers in the world.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry you don't think so, but I don't care for what you think on that. I don't expect you to. India is a great power, and great powers deal with great powers in a different way. You see,
so-called great power.
No, 1 second. General, listen. Let me. May I? Abid Rao, why are you so touchy about it? Why are you so touchy about it?
Refuses to accept.
Sorry, one more point, Arnab.
Yes, go ahead. Casey and Abid Rao.
One point.
Yeah.
One important point.
Yeah.
We are about to join the missile technology control regime.
Yeah.
China is not a member of that.
Yeah.
Once we are in, we can block China there.
Absolutely.
Then what happens then? The Chinese have a larger game. Don't count on them. You'll be disappointed.
You have no clout today, Abid Rao, globally, and I think you take the point on
countries which oppose India's entry.
Sir, there is every reason to believe that your efforts to block India's NSG bid have proved to be ineffective because China's softened stance, and Casey is absolutely correct. China has softened its stance because 16 days back, a person called Narendra Modi successfully secured India's inclusion in the super elite 34-member missile technology control regime. This puts us in a fantastic global position vis-a-vis missile technology. It tremendously boosts our chances of getting an NSG membership. Diplomacy is not done. You see, diplomacy is not done with a begging bowl in your hands. And Casey is thoroughly right. You are just a pivot
we don't do it by begging
You are doing it with a begging bowl in your hand.
Sympathizing with Pakistan
or Abid Rao, you see, when Modi went to Switzerland and Mexico, they supported us. Russia supported us in 2011. Japan supported us 16 days back. Australia supported us in 2013. Norway supported us 7 months back. South Korea supported us. When India met leaders of Britain and France, you must understand, you have to stop being such a complex country, Abid Rao. You're going to burn yourself into jealous irrelevance.
But I'm always surprised as a country. India is so scared of Pakistan in everything.
Why are you having such an amateurish view of diplomacy? Okay, RSN.
India has never shown its bigness.
There is
never.
RSN. There is concern. And there is concern, and the concern is that we are acutely aware of the fact that we are facing two inimical neighbors with nuclear capability. And I don't see Pakistan's nuclear program different than the China's nuclear program. Now, in more recent history, what has happened, that how your military prevented Nawaz Sharif from attending the nuclear security summit because you were to be under the scanner for the simple reason because there is lot of worry all around the world that your nuclear weapons may land in the hands of the jihadis. Any nuclear arsenal that is in the hands exclusively in the hands of the military
I will recommend to all of the Indian panelists to read your own newspapers between 11th May 98 to 28th May. Your tone had become so aggressive that we had to do that.
From the jihadis.
And then
that is why
don't change again.
Can I make a request?
You don't want Pakistan to have any such prominence in Pakistan.
Can I make a recommendation, sir? May I please intervene, Abid Rao? I want to make a recommendation to you in the right earnest, right? Because I have your good at heart. Now understand, the problem is when a person like Casey speaks on an issue like this, you can understand his trained diplomatic mind is at work here. Even when Ambassador Sarwar is there, he's fighting a lost battle for Pakistan, but he's speaking like a diplomat. You see, there's a problem now that you're facing, Abid Rao, that you have made these half-literate majors, colonels and generals in Rawalpindi decide your foreign policy. You know what an embarrassing thing they did yesterday. Do you know, can I just tell you about what they've done? Even a class 6 student would do better diplomacy than what you are doing now. On the one hand, your foreign office says that the reality of non-NPT nuclear states should be accommodated. On the other hand, when you get a phone call from Rawalpindi, you tell the Chinese that any exception given for NSG membership could disturb the strategic stability in South Asia. You are so confused. So, when an exception could be made for India, you are up in arm about its strategic stability. But otherwise, you speak of accepting the reality of non-NPT states. Any trained diplomatic mind would say, don't commit this professional suicide. Now, who is writing your diplomacy? Who's preparing your notes?
This is not correct.
No, Ambassador, this is 1000% correct. I have quoted what the Pakistan Foreign Office spokesperson said and what Pakistan has told
what
China.
I said is based on Indo-Pak relations.
No, absolutely not.
Since 1950.
No, it absolutely not.
Strategic stability of our region.
Sir, this contradiction proves that you are jealous.
We already have a waiver here.
Okay, Ambassador Casey Singh is countering it. Ambassador Casey.
We already have an NSG waiver. So how does joining NSG change it? We can already buy all the uranium we want. So joining NSG doesn't change that. Because we have an NSG waiver. All that joining NSG does is we are then involved with rule making. Once you're in the NSG, you are a part of a rule making body. But buying uranium, we already have a waiver. So how is the strategic stability disturbed?
Complete silence from the Pakistani end tonight.
You are going to
complete
divert
silence
your
from
uranium.
the Pakistani end tonight. Sir, it is a moment of reflection
You can divert your uranium to military purposes.
Sir, listen, sir.
That I think so how does membership of NSG change it?
Maroof is on the debate. Maroof, please. And closing in 2 minutes, closing comments from Maroof.
May I respond to the ambassador's good ambassador's point? Sarwar Saab, मेरी बात सुनिए. पहला point was Mr. Casey Singh, also a distinguished ambassador, has said we can get all the uranium we want, and if we were to divert it, as you are saying, from the civilian program to the military program, we would be caught because they are under IEAE safeguards and inspection. The second point, you keep saying that Pakistan is not in competition with India. If it is not, then whenever we raise the point that you should sign the fissile material cut-off treaty, you say, why haven't you signed it?
There is no fissile material cut-off treaty yet. It is not there yet.
Ambassador Saab, give me the courtesy of 1 minute. All I'm saying to you, that I'm suggesting a way forward. If you think you're not destabilizing the subcontinent with tactical nuclear weapons, which is your latest ploy, then sign the NPT and tell the world that you don't want to destabilize and you should get an entry into the NSG and see if they still invite you to the NSG.
You also sign
My doubt is, even if you sign the NPT, they'll still not call you in because your record is so dubious and so questionable. You have to clear your track record.
We will be taken in.
It is not about NPT.
And India is not going to get into NSG alone.
Well, I don't know. I'm getting a little concerned about your mindset right now. You have so many problems in your country today. You're bankrupt. Your GDP growth is hovering 4%. Your per capita income has pummeled. Your literacy rates are shameful. You are a sponsor and abettor of terror. You are a terror sanctuary. Your country is in the hands of the military. You've had a series of military coups, and you are a nuclear thief. And you dare to come and say that we would want to be on the same high table as India. Sir, it's not going to happen.
Maybe a military government.
I think hallucination, voluntary or involuntary, must be avoided. Diplomacy cannot be done with a begging bowl. Let there be some sanity and some reason which prevails. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight. Thank you, gentlemen.